Hey wannabes, it's Brian, the B-Man from chillinwithb1.blogspot.com. And this is a quick little video I'm putting out to try to convince my brother and you folks out there why you should get The Elder Scrolls Online, which comes out on the consoles in about a week from the time of this recording. So real quick, I'm going to make a character, a starting character. I already have beaten this game, although you can't really beat an MMO. I did beat the main story, but there's plenty to do after that. But real quick, these are the different classes you can pick from. Or should I say races. You got your orcs, elves, humans, basic fantasy stuff you'd find in any of these kind of games. You also got to pick what alliance you want, and that factors into PvP and who you can quest with. So that's an important thing to take into consideration. Here I'm just going to create some random name and we'll go from there. So at the top you can see all the different things you can do. These are your classes. You're going to have your tank-like class. You're going to have your DPS class, your sorcerer class, which is also DPS, and then you have your tank-like class, the Templar. Now all these classes, that's their base stats, but you can kind of play any way you want in this kind of game. Everybody can use the same kind of weapons and armor. Just depends what kind of stats you're trying to go for. So there's a lot of unique things you can do. Tons of different skills, and you'll see that in a few moments when we get to that section. This is to create a character appearance screen. There's so much customization, but for the sake of time, I'm just doing random appearance. So this is what my guy's going to look like. There we go. Let's mess with his face a little bit. There we go. He's on the warpath. So real quick, we'll jump into the game and show you what it looks like. Alright, so here we are. When you first enter the game, you're in first person mode, but you can easily change it to third person, which is what I prefer. It's good to be able to see your whole surroundings, but you can play the game however you like. They're giving you some basic gear here. I did skip the tutorial because I've already done it, but I'm just going to equip this guy with a giant sword. There's so many different kind of weapons you can get though. Bow and arrows, daggers, swords, axes, tons of stuff. Everything's pretty much lootable. You can search treasure chests and everything around you. But you got to be careful for stealing things that don't belong to you because that could make you wanted by the guards. So this is the world. It's a very beautiful looking game and full of life and people around you. And I'll show you a person. You can get quests all over the place. These people with these black arrows, you talk to them and they will voice over talk to you and give you quests.
You're the one they pulled from the drink. Captain Colleen found you floating out in Iliac Bay.
The whole game is voice narration. Every quest is totally voice acted, and it gives you a real immersion into the game. I love it.
Adding to her crew. The ship's got enough sailors to keep her afloat.
So I just wanted to show you that, and this is the map. This is the city, and if you right-click out of that, you'll see a map of the continent or the land, and then you can go even further, and it's just a huge, huge game, and you can go even further and see the whole world. It really is big. I don't think you can walk from one side to the other, truthfully. Alright, so here we are in the wild. I'm going to give you a glimpse of combat, but also want to show you your stats. Every time you level, you get to put a point into either life, magic, or stamina. Each one does a different thing, depending on what you want to do. And then after that, you get to pick a skill. There's tons of skills to get. I mean, the class you pick has 3 skills for that particular class. Different trees you can go down. And then, of course, every weapon has its own skills, and everybody can learn every weapon skill. There's armors, there's everything, crafting, so many different skills. You only get 5 buttons at the bottom in the action bar, and then later on in the game you will have the option to switch weapons on the fly, and that gives you another 5. So you really got to pick and choose what you want to do, but it gives you a lot of customization. So I'm giving myself this little leech life ability, and let's see if we can find someone to kill, just to show you the combat. Oh, and this here is a way shrine. Basically, you go there, you activate it, and you will forever be able to teleport to other way shrines as you find them around the world. So it makes for quick transport. Now let's see if we can find that enemy. Alright, there we go. And we have another player getting involved to fight. It is that kind of a world. You'll share the experience. It's pretty cool. You can help other players you meet on the road. But that's it. Left click, or I guess on the Xbox or PlayStation it'll be one of the R triggers, but that's your basic attack. You hold it down for a strong attack, and then of course there are counters, and then there's the abilities you map to your hotkeys. So it plays a little bit like an action role-playing game. mixed with MMO elements. It's pretty cool. I think it's one of the better fighting systems in an online RPG. But nothing terribly new, just a little refinement. Alright, so now we're going to get into some dungeon delving. This is one of the dungeons in the open world. They're public dungeons as opposed to private ones, which are instanced for parties. I'm not going to show you that in this video because it's kind of hard to get into those. But these are the open dungeons that are available for everyone to go into. And you can a lot of times see people running through these things. Just you can run them as much as you want, fighting enemies for loot and for experience points. The first time you come in, you're going to want to get the crystal that's located in each dungeon. You see it on my map. And by collecting 3 of those crystals, that gives you 1 skill point. So you'll definitely want to look for those throughout the world. And like I said, everything is lootable, so you can loot these crates and barrels. A lot of times there's food or ingredients you'll need for crafting down the road. That was another adventure just ran by this. Let's see if we can find. There's another adventurer. So these are all live players throughout this little dungeon. Let's see if we can find an enemy or 2 to kill real quick. You can just see it's a beautiful game though. There's a quest you can pick up. I'm not going to actually read it, but it probably tells you, do such and such or kill so and so, and you'll get experience. You want to do those, but so here's other players. I'm going to join them in the fight for a second, just to show you some combat. There we go.
Move to flank.
I guess that guy's a wizard next to me fighting. I'm sword wielding guy. You can loot the guys that are yellow, and that's pretty much it. Alright, brother Wild Dog, this one's just for you. Yes, there is crafting. There's a lot of crafting. What you do in this game is you can find things in the wild, materials and stuff, but you can also, the treasures you find, swords and weapons and whatnot, you can disintegrate them, break them down, and use their parts to build new parts. So this is just a newbie character. I don't really have anything to build, but on my main character I am very, very high level blacksmithing, and that's how I make my own gear. So yeah, even if you just don't want to do a lot of combat and you want to make your money like you did in Final Fantasy, there is that for you too. But hopefully you'd want to do some dungeon diving. And there I am doing some dancing, and you can play instruments. There's all the classic emotes you'd find in these kind of games just for fun. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap up this video at this time. I don't know what else to add. I had this game on the PC. I've played it off and on for several months. I do enjoy it. I think it's only going to be better on the consoles with voice chat support and with a controller in hand. So check it out, and check out the other Elder Scrolls videos you can find on YouTube from other people if you want more. Bye guys.